everyone, and welcome back to Mr. English Daily. I'm Anna, and we're going to practice simple, useful English for real life today.
Hi everyone, I'm Jack. If you are A1 or A2, you are in the right place, because we speak clearly and keep the English practical.
Our topic is daily routine English, so you can talk about your day from morning to night, like a natural conversation with a friend.
People often ask, "How was your day?" or "What did you do today?" So this topic helps you answer with easy verbs and clear time words.
We will listen to Kelly's routine, then we will break it down step by step, and then we will listen one more time for extra practice.
Try this simple goal, catch the time words, like 6, 7, 12, 4:30, and 10:30, and don't worry about every small word.
You can also listen for order words, like then, after that, and around, because they help you tell a story in a clear and simple order.
If you enjoy the episode, please like and subscribe, because it helps more learners find free English listening and speaking practice.
Before we listen, I'll ask you a warm-up question. What time do you usually wake up on weekdays, and what is the first thing you do?
Even if you only know a little English, you can answer with one sentence, like, "I wake up at 7, and I brush my teeth first."
Great! Now let's listen to Kelly. After you listen, we will ask easy questions, and you can pause and answer out loud if you want.
Ready? Here is Kelly, and she will share her weekday routine in clear, beginner-friendly English.
Hello, I'm Kelly, and this is my weekday routine. I wake up at 6, get out of bed, brush my teeth, and wash my face. Then I make coffee, check my phone, get dressed, and eat toast for breakfast. Around 7, I leave home and take the bus to work. I work on my computer, answer emails, and have lunch at 12. After work, I go home, relax, make dinner, wash dishes, read, and go to bed at 10:30.
Thanks, Kelly. That was a full day in one short story, and it sounded like real life, not a textbook, which is perfect for beginners.
Yes, and Kelly used common verbs in clear times, so you can copy her structure and change only a few words to talk about your own day.
Let's start with a simple comprehension question. What time does Kelly wake up, and why does she wake up that early?
She wakes up at 6, and she wakes up early because it is a weekday and she needs time to get ready and go to work.
After she wakes up, Kelly says she gets out of bed, brushes her teeth, and washes her face, which are very common morning actions.
If you want an easy pattern, you can say, "After I wake up, I brush my teeth and wash my face," and that sounds natural already.
Then Kelly makes coffee and checks her phone. Many people do that, so it feels modern and familiar, and the verbs are easy to reuse.
You can say, "I check my phone for messages," or "I check my phone for emails," and both are common, simple phrases in daily English.
Next, she gets dressed and eats toast for breakfast. Notice how she keeps the words simple, but the picture in your mind is very clear.
Yes, simple words plus a clear order is the secret. You do not need big vocabulary to speak about daily life in a confident way.
Now let's talk about leaving home. Kelly says, around 7, I leave home and take the bus to work, which is a very useful sentence.
If you do not take the bus, you can change only one part. I drive to work, I walk to work, or I take the train to work.
At work, Kelly says she works on her computer and answers emails. This is common office language, but it is still easy to understand.
Even if you are a student, you can adapt it, I study on my computer, I read messages, and I work on my homework in the afternoon.
Kelly also says she has lunch at 12. Lunch is a strong time anchor, and it helps you divide your day into morning and afternoon.
You can practice with times like, I have lunch at 12, or I have lunch at 1, and both are easy and very common in conversation.
After lunch, Kelly continues working, and then she finishes work and goes home. The phrase after work is very helpful and very common.
Yes, after work I go home, after work I relax, or after work I exercise are all easy A1, A2 sentences you can use right away.
Kelly's evening is also useful. She goes home, relaxes, makes dinner, washes dishes, reads, and goes to bed, so it covers many daily verbs.
Let's pause and practice one longer sentence together. After work, I go home, relax for a short time, and then I make dinner.
Great! Now we will do quick questions like a real chat. Jack, what does Kelly do around 7, and how does she get to work?
Around 7 she leaves home and takes the bus, and she tells us the bus is her way to travel from home to work on weekdays.
Good. And what does she do at 12, and who is she with at that time in her routine?
She has lunch at 12, and in her story she keeps it simple, but we can imagine she might eat with coworkers or eat alone.
Exactly. Now let's help listeners personalize. If you want, you can add one detail, like I eat lunch with friends, or I eat lunch at my desk.
Adding one small detail makes your English sound more real, but you can still keep the sentence short and easy for your level.
Now, let's compare with our own routines to show variety. I wake up at 7, so I wake up later than Kelly on most weekdays.
I wake up around 6:30, so I'm closer to Kelly, and I also like to drink coffee before I start working or checking messages.
Kelly takes the bus, but I usually drive. Still, I can say the same structure. I leave home around 8 and drive to work.
I often work from home, so I can say, I sit at my desk, turn on my computer, and start my workday in a quiet way.
This shows an important idea. The verbs stay the same even if your life is different. You can reuse wake up, leave home, and relax.
Now let's do a simple grammar tip. For exact times we say at, like at 6, at 12, and at 10:30.
For parts of the day, we often say in the morning and in the afternoon, but we usually say at night, not in the night.
If that feels hard, don't worry. Most people will still understand you, and you can improve one small piece at a time.
Next, we will practice order words. Kelly used then, after that, and around, and these words make your routine sound smooth.
You could also use first, next, and finally. These words are easy, and they help your listener follow your story without effort.
Let's build a mini routine together. I'll start. First, I wake up and get out of bed, and then I go to the bathroom.
Next, you brush your teeth, wash your face, and after that you make coffee and eat something small for breakfast.
Then I get dressed, put on my shoes, and leave home. Notice we did not use difficult words, but the routine sounds clear.
Yes, and when you speak, you can keep your speed slow and your pronunciation clear, and that helps your listener and helps you.
Now we will do a short role play. Imagine you meet a friend, and they ask, "What do you do in the morning on weekdays?"
You can answer, I wake up at 7, I brush my teeth, I drink coffee, and I go to work, and that is a strong beginner answer.
If you want to expand, you can add, I take the bus, or I drive, or I walk, and that makes your answer more personal.
Now, another common question is, what do you do after work? Because many people want to know how you relax in the evening.
You can say, after work I go home, I make dinner, I watch TV, and I go to bed at 11, and that is simple and natural.
Let's practice pronunciation lightly. In daily routine English, the word breakfast is common, and many learners say it too slowly.
A simple tip is to say it as one smooth word, breakfast, not breakfast, and you can practice it with, I eat breakfast at 7.
Another common verb is relax, and you can use it in short sentences like, I relax after work or I relax on weekends.
Now, we will go deeper like the competitor style, with more questions that guide you through the whole day, step by step.
Question 1. What does Kelly do right after she wakes up, and what 2 actions happen in the bathroom?
Kelly gets out of bed and goes to the bathroom, and in the bathroom she brushes her teeth and washes her face to feel ready.
Question 2. What does Kelly do in the kitchen, and what does she check on her phone before leaving home?
She makes coffee in the kitchen, and she checks her phone for messages, which is a normal habit for many people today.
Question 3. What time does she leave home, and how does she get to work during the week?
She leaves home around 7 and takes the bus to work, which is easy to say even if you use a different way to travel.
Question 4. What does Kelly do at work, and what is one simple verb you can use for the same idea if you are a student?
She works on her computer and answers emails, and a student can say, I study on my computer, or I work on my homework.
Question 5. What time does she have lunch, and why is lunch a helpful part of the day for telling a routine story?
She has lunch at 12, and lunch helps you organize your story because it separates the morning from the afternoon clearly.
Question 6. When does Kelly finish work, and what does she do first when she arrives back home?
She finishes work at 4:30, and when she gets home she relaxes for a short time before she starts cooking dinner.
Question 7. Name 2 evening actions Kelly does after dinner that many people also do in real life.
She washes the dishes and reads, and many people also watch TV, talk with family, or take a shower before bed.
Great! Now we will help listeners speak with a simple frame they can reuse for any day, even a weekend or a holiday.
Here is the frame in the morning I. At noon I. In the afternoon I. In the evening I. At night I.
Let me model it. In the morning I wake up at 6:30 and drink coffee. At noon I have lunch. In the evening I make dinner and relax.
And here is mine. In the morning I wake up at 7 and get ready. In the afternoon I work and answer emails. At night I read and sleep.
Notice we did not use long sentences. Clear, short sentences are easier to say, and they still sound natural in friendly conversation.
Now we will do a listening challenge. Think of 3 verbs you heard in Kelly's story and say them out loud right now.
If you said wake up, get dressed, and take the bus, that's great. If you said make coffee or wash dishes, that's also perfect.
Now try to put 2 verbs into one sentence, like, I wake up and I make coffee, or I go home and I relax after work.
That small step turns vocabulary into speech, and speech is the goal, even for beginners who feel shy about English.
At this point, you have heard Kelly once and discussed her routine. Now we will listen again, like the competitor, to build memory.
On the second listen, try to shadow one sentence at a time. You can pause, repeat, and then continue, and that is excellent practice.
Okay, let's listen to Kelly one more time. Focus on the times and the order words, and try to picture her day like a movie.
Here is Kelly again, and after that we will do a stronger review with full sentences, not a short word list.
Hello, I'm Kelly, and this is my weekday routine. I wake up at 6, get out of bed, brush my teeth, and wash my face. Then I make coffee, check my phone, get dressed, and eat toast for breakfast. Around 7, I leave home and take the bus to work. I work on my computer, answer emails, and have lunch at 12. After work, I go home, relax, make dinner, wash dishes, read, and go to bed at 10:30.
Great listening. Hearing the same story twice is powerful because the verbs start to feel familiar and your brain stops translating.
Now we will do a strong review in full sentences so you can practice natural speech and not just separate words or short phrases.
In Kelly's routine, she wakes up at 6, gets out of bed, and goes to the bathroom to brush her teeth and wash her face.
Then she makes coffee, checks her phone, gets dressed, and eats toast for breakfast before she leaves home around 7.
She takes the bus to work, works on her computer, answers emails, and keeps her day moving until lunch at 12.
After lunch she continues working, and later she finishes work, goes home, relaxes, and starts her evening routine step by step.
In the evening she makes dinner, washes the dishes, reads a little, and goes to bed at 10:30 to get enough sleep.
Now let's practice a realistic chat question. Anna, if I ask you, what did you do today, how would you answer in simple English?
I would say, I woke up at 7, I worked on my computer, I had lunch at noon, and after work I made dinner and relaxed at home.
That is a great answer because it uses times in order, but it stays simple. Beginners can copy that structure and change the details.
Let's give listeners 3 safe starter sentences they can use anywhere. I woke up at. I went to. I relaxed by in the evening.
And if you want to add one more sentence, you can say, then I went to bed at, because bedtime is a simple and clear ending.
Now we will fix the problem you pointed out earlier. We will not say one verb per line, because real speech uses verbs inside sentences.
So instead of saying wake up, brush teeth, and go to work alone, we will say, I wake up, brush my teeth, and go to work on weekdays.
Here is another full sentence review. After I wake up, I get dressed, eat breakfast, and leave the house, and then my workday begins.
Here is one more. After work, I go home, relax for a short time, make dinner, wash the dishes, and spend time with my family.
If that feels long, you can split it into 2 sentences, and that is still natural. After work I go home. Then I make dinner and relax.
Now a quick vocabulary boost, still a 1A2, instead of only dinner, you can also say lunch, breakfast, snack, or meal, depending on your day.
And for activities, you can use simple verbs like watch, read, listen, call, walk, and cook, because these verbs appear in many routines.
Let's do a short practice together. Repeat after me. I leave home around 7, and I get to work around 8.
Now repeat after me. At 12, I have lunch, and in the evening, I make dinner and relax.
Great! Now try to create your own sentence with around, like, I go to bed around 11, or I get home around 5:30.
Now we will help you write a comment. Keep it short, but complete. 2 or 3 sentences is enough to practice and feel successful.
Here is an easy comment model. I wake up at 7. I go to work at 9. After work, I go home, eat dinner, and go to bed at 11.
If you do not work, you can change one part. I go to school, I study at home, or I take care of my family, and the rest stays the same.
Now let's add one friendly question you can use with others. What time do you usually wake up, and what do you do first in the morning?
And here is a polite follow-up question. Do you take the bus, or do you drive? Because that helps the conversation continue naturally.
If you want a simple closing line in a chat, you can say, that sounds like a busy day, or that sounds like a relaxing day.
We also want to remind you about speed. If you play this episode at 60% speed, you can catch more words and feel calmer.
Then, when you feel ready, move back to normal speed, because that is how you build real listening strength over time.
Before we finish, let's add a little extra practice, because many listeners want more speaking time after the second listen.
Yes, and we will keep it controlled A2, with clear sentences you can repeat, copy, and change to match your own life.
First, a small speaking upgrade. Instead of only I do, you can say I usually do, because it sounds more natural for routines.
For example, you can say, I usually wake up at 7, or I usually have lunch at 12, and that one word usually helps a lot.
Another helpful word is sometimes, because routines change. You can say, I sometimes drink tea, or I sometimes take the bus.
And if you want the opposite, you can use never, like, I never skip breakfast, but use it carefully and only if it is true.
Now, a common beginner mistake is time words. Remember, we say at 6, at noon, and at 10:30, but in the morning and in the afternoon.
And we usually say at night, which is a little special, so you can remember it as one fixed phrase, at night.
Let's do a short drill. Repeat, I wake up at 6. I have lunch at 12. I go to bed at 10:30.
Now repeat within, I study in the morning. I work in the afternoon. I relax at night.
Great! Next, let's practice questions, because daily routine conversations are not only answers, they are also questions you ask others.
A very common question is, what time do you start work? And another easy one is, what do you do after work?
If someone asks you, what time do you wake up? You can answer, I wake up at 7, and then you can ask back, how about you?
That small question back keeps the conversation going, and it makes you sound friendly and confident, even with simple English.
Now we will do a mini role play. Jack, pretend you are my coworker, and you want to make small talk in the morning.
Sure. Anna, good morning. What time did you wake up today, and did you have breakfast?
Good morning, Jack. I woke up at 7, and yes, I had toast and coffee. What about you? Did you eat breakfast today?
Yes, I did. I woke up at 6:30, ate a quick breakfast, and then I started work early because I had a busy morning.
Nice. Notice how we use simple past for today, like woke up and ate, but for routines we often use present simple, like I wake up at 7.
If that feels confusing, here is an easy tip. Use present for habits and use past for one day, like today or yesterday.
Now let's do a routine version of the same chat. Jack, ask me about my normal weekday, not just today.
Anna, on weekdays, what time do you usually wake up, and what do you usually do first in the morning?
On weekdays, I usually wake up at 7, and I usually brush my teeth, wash my face, and make coffee before I check my phone.
That answer is strong because it includes usually, a clear order, and common verbs, and the listener can understand it easily.
Now, let's give listeners a simple 2-sentence routine they can repeat. I usually wake up at. After that, I and.
And here is a second line, then I go to, and in the evening I and go to bed at. Keep it short and clear.
Let's talk about one more useful verb, get ready. It is very common, and it can replace many small actions in one simple phrase.
For example, you can say, I get ready for work, meaning you wash, dress, and prepare, and you don't need to list every action.
But if you want to practice more verbs, you can list 2 or 3 actions, like brush my teeth, get dressed, and pack my bag.
Yes, listing actions is great practice, but try to keep each sentence comfortable to say, so your speaking feels smooth.
Now we will do a quick listening quiz. I will say a sentence, and you decide if it is morning, afternoon, or evening.
Sentence 1. I make dinner and wash the dishes. That is evening. Sentence 2. I answer emails and have meetings. That is usually daytime.
Sentence 3. I brush my teeth and wash my face. That is morning or night, but in Kelly's story it is morning right after she wakes up.
Great job. Now we will give you a weekend version, because many people want to talk about weekends differently from weekdays.
A simple weekend sentence is, on weekends, I wake up later, I relax more, and I do something fun, like walking, shopping, or meeting friends.
And you can add, I don't rush in the morning, because weekend mornings feel slower, and that is easy English but very natural.
Now a small pronunciation tip. The phrase go to becomes very quick in speech, like gonna in some accents, but you can say go to clearly.
Yes, clear speech is best for beginners. Say, I go to work, I go to school, and I go to bed, and keep the rhythm steady.
If you want shadowing practice, replay Kelly's story and repeat only the first half today, then repeat the second half tomorrow.
That plan is realistic, and it helps you learn without feeling tired, because short daily practice is better than one long session.
Now, let's create a comment together. Write 3 lines, your wake-up time, your lunch time, and your bedtime, and that is enough.
For example, you can write, I wake up at 7. I have lunch at 12. I go to bed at 11. Simple, correct, and very useful.
If you want to add one more line, add transport, like, I take the bus to work, or, I drive to school, because that is common daily English.
And if you want to add feeling words without stage directions, you can say, I feel tired after work, or, I feel relaxed in the evening.
That is a good point. Feeling words like tired, happy, and relaxed are normal speech, and they are different from script notes like smiling.
Exactly. Use real feeling sentences you can read out loud and save the acting and emotion for your voice and editing.
Okay, last tip. Keep your routine story in order, and your listener will understand you, even if your grammar is not perfect.
Yes, order is powerful. Morning, noon, afternoon, and night is a simple map, and it makes your English easy to follow.
Now let's finish with one clear reminder. You can reuse Kelly's structure like a template, and you only need to change your own details.
And remember, practice works best when it is small and daily, so try to use one routine sentence today, even if it is very simple.
Let's do one final guided practice with very common verbs, so you can say a complete routine in about 20 seconds.
Repeat after me in short chunks. I wake up at 7, I get ready, I leave home, and I start work at 9.
Now add lunch. At 12, I have lunch, and after lunch I go back to work and finish my tasks in the afternoon.
Now add evening. After work, I go home, I make dinner, I relax, and I go to bed at 11.
Great! If you want to sound even more natural, add usually once, like, I usually wake up at 7 on weekdays.
And if your schedule changes, add sometimes, like, I sometimes work from home, or I sometimes eat lunch later.
Now, here is a simple question you can ask a classmate. What do you usually do after dinner?
A simple answer is, after dinner, I wash the dishes, watch TV, and read a little, and then I go to bed.
If you are very busy, you can say, after dinner, I clean up quickly, take a shower, and go to sleep early.
And if you are very relaxed, you can say, after dinner, I go for a walk, listen to music, and talk with my family.
These sentences are short, but they are real English, and they help you speak about your life in a natural way.
Now, if you want more episodes like this, you can search our channel for daily life topics, because daily topics repeat useful vocabulary.
We also recommend replaying this episode during simple moments like cooking or walking because passive listening still builds familiarity.
Then, when you have 2 minutes, do active practice by repeating one sentence out loud, and your speaking will improve faster.
Okay, we are ready to close. Thank you for staying with us and practicing daily routine English with a simple story and clear steps.
Before we go, remember to leave a short comment about your day, because writing and speaking one sentence is better than doing nothing.
Use the template, I wake up at. I have lunch at. I go to bed at. It is simple, clean, and perfect for beginners.
And if you want a challenge, add one more sentence with after work or in the evening, and you will sound even more natural.
We read your comments, and we love seeing your routines from different places and different lives, because English connects people.
All right, let's finish. Keep practicing a little every day, and you will feel your English become easier and more comfortable.
As a final recap, remember the key idea: simple verbs plus clear times lets you describe a full day, even with beginner English.
If you can say wake up, go to work, have lunch, go home, relax, and go to bed, you already have the foundation for daily conversations.
Now take one step today, say your routine out loud once, slowly, and you will train your mouth and your confidence at the same time.
Great work today, and we hope you feel proud of your progress, because showing up and practicing is the most important thing.
Thank you for learning with Mr. English Daily today. We hope this routine story makes daily English feel easier and more natural for you.
Please like, subscribe, and share, and remember to leave one short comment about your routine, because using English today is the best practice.
That's all for this episode. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time for another simple story and more real-life English practice.
Bye everyone, and keep practicing a little every day, because small daily practice creates big progress in your English.